Beneath one of the coldest, most lifeless deserts on Earth, scientists just found something that shouldn't exist. A hidden ocean, sealed in darkness for over 1,000,000 years, still alive. This isn't science fiction. This is Antarctica. And what researchers just pulled out of the ice could change how we search for life on other planets. Picture a glacier in the most remote, wind-battered valley on the planet. No plants, no animals. Temperatures plunging past -100 degrees Fahrenheit. And then, bleeding out from a crack in the ice, a waterfall the color of fresh blood. This is Blood Falls, and for over a century, it has been one of the strangest, most photographed mysteries in Antarctica. It was first discovered in 1911 by an Australian geologist named Thomas Griffith Taylor during Britain's Terra Nova expedition. When he saw crimson water pouring out of the white ice, the story that spread was almost as dramatic as the sight itself. Some believed it was caused by red algae. It took decades of research to get closer to the truth. Blood Falls flows out from underneath Taylor Glacier in East Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys and drains into a frozen lake called Lake Bonny. The red color comes from something far less mystical than algae, but almost as strange: iron. The water trapped beneath the glacier is extremely salty brine, loaded with dissolved iron. When that brine finally reaches the surface and touches oxygen in the air, the iron rusts, almost instantly, turning the water a shocking rust red. You can actually see the stain from satellite images on Google Maps. That's how vivid it is. But the color was never really the biggest mystery. The real question scientists have been chasing for years is this: what is that brine? Where did it come from? And how has anything survived inside it? Because here's the part that should stop you in your tracks. That brine isn't just salty water. It's alive. Back in 2009, researchers confirmed that the fluid trapped beneath Taylor Glacier contains a functioning ecosystem of microorganisms, bacteria and archaea, that have never seen sunlight and that survive using chemical reactions involving iron and sulfur instead of photosynthesis. In a place with almost no organic matter, no light, and crushing cold, these microbes found a way to keep living. That alone was a remarkable discovery. It suggested that life could exist in environments once thought completely sterile, like the icy moons of other planets. But that was only half the story. Because for years, scientists mostly focused on the simplest life forms in the brine, the bacteria and archaea, known as prokaryotes, organisms with no nucleus, whose genetic material floats freely inside the cell. Nobody had done a deep search for something more complex. That changed in 2026. A new study, led by researchers from Yale University, the University of California, San Diego, and the J. Craig Venter Institute, and published in the journal Nature Geoscience, went looking for something scientists had almost entirely overlooked at Blood Falls: eukaryotes. These are organisms whose cells contain a nucleus and complex internal structures, the same category of cell that makes up everything from amoebas to diatoms to human beings. The team, led by postdoctoral researcher Angela Zumplis and senior author Andrew Allen, collected an enormous number of samples, 167 separate samples of water, sediment, and even air, gathered from Blood Falls itself and from across the wider Dry Valleys region. Microbiologist Jill McCookie, who has studied Blood Falls for years, spent a long time collecting enough material from beneath the glacier to make this kind of deep genetic analysis possible. What they found buried in that red mud and sediment was staggering. Hidden inside the samples were the genetic signatures of marine eukaryotes, diatoms, dinoflagellates, and ciliates. These are organisms normally found living in oceans and coastal seawater, not sealed beneath a glacier in one of the driest, coldest deserts on the planet. And it wasn't just old, dead genetic debris. When the team examined the RNA of these organisms, they found they were transcriptionally active. In simple terms, these microbes weren't fossils. They weren't leftover fragments. They were alive, functioning, and carrying out the normal business of living cells, right now, underneath the ice. So the obvious question became, how did marine organisms end up trapped under a glacier hundreds of feet above sea level, nowhere near the modern coastline? The first explanation researchers had to rule out was the wind. Antarctica's dry valleys are known for brutally strong winds, and it's possible for microorganisms to get swept inland from the coast and scattered across the landscape. So the team checked the air samples too. If wind was responsible, marine microbes should have shown up everywhere across the region in similar amounts. They didn't. The air near Blood Falls contained only a tiny fraction of marine microorganisms, nowhere near enough to explain what was found concentrated in the red sediment. And the marine eukaryotes weren't spread out evenly across the dry valleys either. They were clustered specifically around Blood Falls. On top of that, genetically, many of these organisms had drifted apart from their modern ocean relatives. Differences consistent with an extremely long period of isolation, not a quick trip on a gust of wind. That left one far more incredible explanation on the table. According to the research team, the most likely origin of the brine-feeding Blood Falls is ancient seawater that flooded into this valley long ago, when global sea levels were higher and the region looked completely different than it does today. As Antarctica cooled and the Taylor Glacier advanced, that pocket of ancient ocean water became trapped and sealed beneath the ice. Cut off from the outside world, unable to escape, that water, and the life inside it, had only one option: adapt or disappear. It chose to adapt, and it has apparently been surviving down there, isolated from the rest of the planet, for over 1 million years. Some estimates put the sealed ecosystem at roughly 1.5 million years old. Think about what that actually means. While early humans were still evolving on the plains of Africa, while entire ice ages came and went, while mountain ranges rose and fell, this pocket of ancient ocean and the microscopic life inside it was sitting frozen in total darkness beneath Antarctica, completely cut off, quietly continuing to live. According to Andrew Allen, the diverse microbial community discovered in Blood Falls keeps a biological connection to that ancient marine environment, while also showing just how resilient and adaptable life can be. His point is simple but powerful. Every time scientists use better tools to look closer at extreme environments, they keep finding rich, highly specialized ecosystems where nobody expected life to survive at all. And Angela Zumplis put it in a way that's hard to shake. On the surface, Blood Falls looks like an environment almost completely cut off from the ocean today. But when her team studied the molecular signatures hidden in that red mud and sediment, they picked up a surprisingly strong marine signal, a genetic echo of a sea that vanished from the map a very long time ago. This discovery matters far beyond satisfying a 100-year-old mystery about a weird red waterfall. It matters because of where scientists are now looking for life beyond Earth. For decades, one of the biggest questions in astrobiology has been this: if life exists somewhere else in our solar system, where would we even look? Increasingly, scientists believe the answer isn't a warm, sunlit planet like Earth. It's places like Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, and Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, both of which are believed to hide vast oceans of liquid water underneath thick shells of ice, completely sealed off from sunlight, just like the brine beneath Taylor Glacier. Blood Falls is essentially a natural laboratory sitting right here on Earth, letting scientists study exactly the kind of environment they expect to find on those distant icy moons. Dark, cold, cut off from the surface, and yet still capable of supporting life that survives on chemistry instead of sunlight. If complex organisms can persist for over 1 million years sealed beneath Antarctic ice, it raises a genuinely thrilling possibility that similar hidden oceans, light years closer than we think, on moons orbiting other planets, could be quietly sheltering life of their own. That's not a fringe theory. That's the exact reasoning driving current and future space missions built to study these icy moons and search for biosignatures beneath their frozen surfaces. There's also a bigger climate story tucked inside this discovery. Understanding how and when ancient seawater became trapped beneath the ice helps scientists reconstruct how Antarctica's ice sheets have expanded and retreated over enormous stretches of time, information that's incredibly valuable for predicting how the ice might respond in the future as the planet continues to warm. Just this year, A research station in the Antarctic interior recorded a temperature of -119.4 degrees Fahrenheit, the coldest temperature documented anywhere on Earth since 2012. Antarctica remains a place of staggering extremes, a landscape that seems to specialize in disproving what we thought was possible. It's worth being honest about something here too. Not every scientist agrees on every detail. Some researchers have pushed back on the idea that Blood Falls water is directly seawater in origin, suggesting instead that the marine signals detected could partly be explained by wind carrying in bacteria and chemical traces from the coast over time. That's part of how real science works. Competing explanations get tested against the evidence, again and again, until one theory holds up better than the others. In this case, the newly discovered pattern of eukaryotic life clustered specifically around Blood Falls, combined with the extremely low levels of marine microbes detected in the air, gives strong support to the ancient trapped seawater explanation. But scientists will likely keep digging, quite literally, to nail down the full story. What's not up for debate is this. Blood Falls is not simply a strange geological stain on the ice. It's a living time capsule, a slice of an ancient ocean, sealed away by accident more than 1 million years ago, that never stopped being alive. Every drop of that blood-red water carries genetic memory of a sea that no longer exists anywhere else on the planet. And somewhere out there, on a moon orbiting Jupiter or Saturn, under miles of ice, in total darkness, in temperatures colder than almost anywhere on Earth, there might be another ocean doing exactly the same thing, quietly holding on to life, waiting for someone smart enough and patient enough to come looking. If a hidden ocean has been alive under Antarctic ice for over 1 million years, what do you think we'll find hiding under the ice on other worlds? Drop your theory in the comments, and follow for more real science stories that sound too wild to be true, but aren't.